Nobody believes the Social Security system is sustainable in its current form. In fact, the politicians in Washington have taken it to the brink of bankruptcy. And yet, Lieutenant Governor Fisher's approach to this is the same as the politics in Washington, which has led to paralysis and has led to a situation right now where if we don't do something, Social Security won't be there for our kids and our grandkids. Seniors understand that, by the way. And I do not support touching any benefit that any senior has received. Let me just make that clear. So what Lieutenant Governor Fisher has been saying around the state is just flat wrong. Nobody who's retired or near retired should have their benefits touched. But we do need to figure out a way on a bipartisan basis to improve, strengthen, and preserve the Social Security system. Again, this goes to what I talked about at the beginning of this debate. You know, on the one hand, you're going to hear a lot of politics and a lot of partisanship and some clever lines and probably a few sound bites that his political consultants have given him on Social Security. On the other hand, you're going to hear someone saying, we need to fix this problem because if we don't, we're going to be letting people down. Not the seniors who are going to get the benefits promised, but their kids and their grandkids, and seniors care about it. I talked about the meeting in Cincinnati where Lieutenant Governor Fisher went to tell seniors, it was a small group, but you know, that Rob Portman was going to take away their Social Security. And at the end of the meeting, one of the seniors stood up and said, well, you know what, how are we going to solve this problem? Because she was concerned about it. And she asked, what is your solution to the Social Security problem? Lieutenant Governor Fisher's response, elect me. That's not a response. That's a political response. We need to be sure we are strengthening and improving the system for the future.
Mr. Fisher, 1 minute for response.
Well, let's talk about the political consultants. I think I know what happened here. When George Bush announced that he wanted to privatize Social Security, he went to his best friend in the U.S. Congress and said, Rob, I need to get you on those CNN shows, those Fox shows. You need to defend that. So we have television clips where Rob Portman is saying it's safe and guaranteed to put your money in the stock market. But I think his political consultants in the last few days said, you know, that might not be as popular as it was when you said that. So you didn't hear an answer today because the truth is he has obviously taken both sides of this issue. And I want to talk a little bit about Halloween. Halloween means you put on a costume. Well, if I look at Congressman Portman's ads, I think he's a Democrat. He's got a nice pair of jeans. He's touring those factories. You go on his website, you never see the words Bush, Cheney. You never see the fact that he was the trade advisor who exported the jobs overseas.
Mr. Fisher.
That's the costume he's wearing in this campaign.
It's now time, as fun as this has been, for closing remarks. The order of closing remarks was determined by a coin toss earlier today. Each candidate has 2 minutes, and we begin with Mr. Portman.
Great. Thank you, Karen, very much. And given the discussion today, I'm going to change what I was going to say in my closing. I'm going to tell a story instead. And I think this story illustrates pretty well the differences you've seen today. It's a different in approach, different in vision. It's about a company called Worcester Motors. And Worcester Motorways is in Northeast Ohio. It's a small company. They tell me they went to a business conference with a lot of other small business owners where Lieutenant Governor Fisher was present. And they stood up and said, we're having a real problem with state government. Can you help us? Lieutenant Governor Fisher said in front of all the companies, yeah, I promise I'll come to your business, talk to you about it, and help you. He didn't show. They followed up. He didn't come. They tell me he did send an email. It was a fundraising email asking for a political contribution. You can imagine their response. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for some help on this issue. They asked him to come again. He promised. He didn't show. Now, they asked me to come, and I went last week at their invitation. I did visit the plant and did visit with the workers, and I did learn about what they're concerned about. They also put together a small business group there of about 10 or 12 business owners from the area who all came together to talk to me about the issues they care about. And it's what I've heard all over this great state. Not only that, again, as Director of Development, he was a no-show, but that the policies he's supporting are not helping small business. Folks, you can't continue to raise taxes, which he wants to do at year end, and they're worried about it. You can't continue to raise the cost of doing business and expect the job creators, the small business owners who are struggling to be able to make ends meet and create jobs and opportunities. They said, look, we're going to pay more overtime because we can't afford the 20% increase in premiums and bringing more people on right now. These are the real problems out there in Ohio. These are problems that need to be addressed. This is why I'm running for the United States Senate. I did come from a small business family. I do understand these issues, and I do think that we can turn things around. We're a great state. We can do it, but it's going to take new leadership, and it's going to take the right policies.
Mr.
I
Portman.
ask for your vote tonight, and I hope to see you on the campaign trail. Thank you.
And now, Mr. Fisher. Please hold your applause. Mr. Fisher, you have 2 minutes for closing remarks.
This is serious stuff. And the kind of attack ads you've seen by Congressman Portman and the Chamber of Commerce, not only false, they're offensive and they're insulting, they insult your intelligence. This is not a state recession. This is a national recession that has hit every governor and lieutenant governor, Republican and Democrat, in this entire country. 8 million jobs have been lost. I could name to you many states with higher unemployment rates with Republican governors, but I'm guessing he won't blame them. Let me tell you what you need to do. If you're in a crisis, and many of you are in your own lives and your businesses, what do? You can go down in the basement and pray for a better day, or you can go in the front yard and you keep working and planting and plowing. Congressman Portman, you go to Goodyear, and you talk about the fact that they had 2 feet out the door and we convinced them to stay. You go to Bridgestone Firestone that had both feet out the door to Nashville. We convinced them to stay and expand. You go to Norwalk Furniture. The bank was closing them down. If you close down Norwalk Furniture, you might as well close down Norwalk, Ohio. We saved the company. When you're in the middle of an economic storm, you save jobs one job at a time, one business at a time. It's no accident that we have received the top recognition in the country. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. It's no accident that Ohio's the 6th fastest growing economy in the country today. And it's no accident there are still too many people hurting. Why? Because of a national recession caused in part by the policies of George W. Bush and Congressman Portman, who deregulated Wall Street, gave tax breaks to companies to ship jobs overseas, negotiated unfair trade agreements to allow cheap products made in China to come to America. If you want to see the jobs I've saved and created during this storm that he helped create, go anywhere in Ohio. And if you want to see the jobs that he helped create, go to Beijing, Shanghai,
Fisher.
Hong Kong.
Mr. Fisher. I'd like to thank the candidates for participating in this debate. And I'd also like to thank our panel of newspaper reporters for their participation. Bill Hershey from the Dayton Daily News, Steve Hoffman from the Akron Beacon Journal, and Joe Froelich from the Cleveland Plain Dealer. This has been a debate between the 2 leading candidates in the race for Ohio's open U.S. Senate seat. This debate was presented by the City Club of Cleveland, the Ohio Newspaper Organization, and WVIZ PBS and 90.3 WCPN Idea Stream. By the way, these candidates are scheduled to debate once more before Election Day, October 12th in Columbus. Check your local listings if you'd like to watch or listen to this debate. And thank you to the audience for your very thoughtful questions. I'm Karen Kassler, reminding you to cast your ballot on or before November 2nd.
For information on upcoming speakers or for podcasts of the City Club, go to cityclub.org.